Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Everybody's talking about how to use AI to boost your productivity. What should we do with this crazy thing called AI? I'm Nadav. I'm a business school professor with many years of teaching and coaching students and executives, and I'm going to show you the best framework of how to use AI to boost your productivity. So the way we're going to do this, we're going to do an interactive exercise. This is the best way. Instead of telling you, I'm going to show you. So we're going to do it with 6 real workplace tasks, the kind of things that usually land in your inbox or on your desk on a regular basis. And for each one, I want you to ask yourself a simple question. Would I be comfortable letting AI do this task? Okay, number 1, format a slide deck to match your company's brand guidelines. So think about it for a second. When I did this with a class full of executives and MBA students, the room was pretty quick, unanimous. Yes, give it to AI. Clear standard, repeatable process, no judgment calls. AI can do it better. Now, I'll admit this used to be my job, actually my life when I was a consultant before I got to academia. Funny that now everybody says, give this to AI. Shows you what value I had as a consultant. So if you said yes, you're in good company. Okay, task 2, comfort a teammate who just found out that they didn't get the promotion that they expected. Okay, would you give that to AI? So the rooms that I did it in were equally fast on this one, but the opposite direction. Almost nobody wanted AI to do this. They wanted to do this themselves. They said it was too personal, too contextual, too dependent on what you actually know about this person, how to talk to them, too dependent on the relationship. And so not comfortable letting AI handle this. And if you felt the same way, you're in good company. All right, so far so good. Task 3, build a financial model to recommend whether we should acquire a smaller competitor. This one, the room was split. We got a lot of hands that went up for yes, because AI is pretty strong in financial modeling, scenario analysis, and so on and so forth. So makes sense to say yes, but half the room said no, because there's a couple of problems with this. One, any financial model is only as good as the assumptions that it makes. And so choosing the right assumptions about revenue synergies, about integration, and so on and so forth, that's key. And we don't know if AI can do this pretty well in the way that we would approve it. Second, the word recommend, if you're recommending anything in business, like acquiring a smaller competitor or whatever you do, that implies accountability. Because if the acquisition or anything you do goes wrong, somebody needs to take responsibility for that, for a wrong judgment call. What are you going to do? There's mistakes in life. And so if AI led the recommendation, then nobody's accountable and nobody's responsible. And so a lot of people said no to this, because when you have real accountability, you make different decisions than when you don't have accountability. All right, next, task number 4. Tell a direct report their work on a project wasn't good enough and give them feedback. So think about it for a second. Would you let AI do that? Now, when I did it, again, hundreds of MBAs, hundreds of executives, the responses were generally mixed. Most of the room, not by a large margin, leaned towards no, because they said AI can maybe help you first draft of a message, summarize your points or whatever. But again, the relationship is what matters. The context is what matters. A few people said AI can do this, no problem. The issue again is that something can really go wrong if there's no human connection here. When you give somebody negative feedback, something could go seriously wrong. You could damage that person's motivation. You could damage the relationship substantially if you're not there in person to give the feedback and structure it the way it should be. So maybe AI can help you prepare, but probably shouldn't be doing the task instead of you. All right, task number 5, write the talking points when you deliver a message to a board of directors or to investors about why you missed an important target. What would you do? Would you give this to AI or not? Now, in my class, there was another split. On the one hand, writing talking points, that sounds like an AI task. AI is pretty good in summarizing things, coming up with good language, coming up with nuances, and so on. On the other hand, a lot of people objected because this is a task that requires you to read the room, to understand what kind of objections are going to come up, what kind of problems, what kind of prior relationships, what kind of politics are already there in the room, how to adjust in the moment to respond to questions, to respond to different kinds of things that people will bring up. In other words, there's a human layer to this task as well. And a lot of people said, I'm not comfortable giving AI that task, such an important task, when I'm interacting with people who are basically my bosses. And again, this is not about the data, because the same data presented to a board that trusts you will be received completely differently from the same numbers given to a board that doesn't trust you, who's skeptical. And so the AI doesn't know what kind of room you're going into. And so maybe you shouldn't give this to AI. All right, 6th and last, draft a performance improvement plan, or PIP, for an underperforming employee. Okay, so PIP, if you're in consulting, if you're in banking, any kind of industry like that, is pretty much a dreaded acronym for most people. And In the room, when I was doing this in my classroom, everybody said, no, do not give this to AI. Even though AI can, again, summarize the points and explain and give constructive feedback and so on, the problem is that a PIP can really spell the end of somebody's career. I mean, it's one step away from firing somebody. And so a lot of people objected to having AI deliver a performance improvement plan to another person because it's one step away from firing them. And you wouldn't want AI to fire somebody. You would want to do it yourself, or want another human being to do that. You also want somebody who's struggling, who is facing a PIP, to feel supported, because giving it to AI might be read as, I don't care about you, I'm just giving it to a computer. All right, so let's think about these different tasks that we just sorted. So what were we actually doing? See, most professional tasks, if you think about it, fall into one of three categories. And knowing which category a task belongs to is one of the most important things to understand where AI can really help you and where AI might hurt you in your job. So the first category is procedural tasks. So procedure. There's a rules to this task. There's a repeatability to this task, clear standards, pretty defined process. There's a right answer that doesn't depend on who's involved. There's no politics. There's no psychology. So AI can handle this pretty well. And in fact, not giving them to AI can really hurt you in terms of productivity because a lot of your colleagues will. So for example, if you're formatting a slide deck, that's pretty much the definition of a procedural task. Now, analytical tasks involve data and modeling and synthesizing them. And AI is pretty strong in that aspect of it. But at the same time, how to use the data, how to communicate the data, how to make the data into a recommendation or a decision, that's a judgment call. And that's like buried inside the big data set. And there's assumptions and there's an audience in front of you, and you have to communicate correctly whatever it is you decide. And that AI doesn't do very well. Moreover, analytical tasks are about accountability. Anybody can make a decision if they're not accountable for what happens if the decision doesn't go right. So AI can definitely make a decision for you if you ask it to, but if it doesn't go well, then nobody's accountable, and we can't really run a company like that. And so analytical tasks are kind of mixed. There's certain aspects of it that AI can do well, but other aspects that AI is definitely not suited for. So for example, updating your bosses or a board or investors about a bad quarter or a bad situation, part of it is AI. Yes, you create the data, you create the slides, you create whatever supporting material that you have, but how to actually do it and actually doing it, not sure if AI is the best thing for that. Finally, the third category is social tasks. Those are fundamentally about human relationships and dynamics and emotions and stakes and the history between you and other people. So comforting a teammate who failed at something obviously is an example of a social task. Letting somebody know that they're being laid off, again, a social task. So it's not about the content of what you say. It's how you have the conversation and the fact that you're in the conversation. And so AI definitely not the thing to use in social tasks, because pretty quickly you'll get a reputation as a leader that doesn't care, that doesn't give a hoot, that's not invested in their people, and that's really not great. So let me leave you with a simple diagnostic that you want to try before you delegate anything to AI. What you want to do is ask yourself, can I explain to somebody else exactly what good looks like for this specific task, for the specific audience that they're giving the task to? If the answer is yes, then that task can probably go to AI. It's probably procedural enough that AI can do it, and in fact, you should probably just delegate it to AI. If the answer is it depends on who's this for, or what the context is, or what happened before, and so on, then you know that AI can only do part of it or none of it at all. Because the act of trying to answer a question like what good looks like is really reliable in telling you whether AI is actually the right tool for the job. For most people that I've done this exercise with, they find it really useful because they're able to tease out what's social, what requires relationships in their day with the people that they work with, in their work tasks, and what's purely analytical, purely data, or purely procedural. So learning to do this over time is really something that I think everybody should master in this age of AI. You know, last year's MBA class that I taught is the very first cohort, I think, that really seriously had to deal with AI. A lot of them were bummed out about how hard it is to get a job, or at least they think so, even though I think statistically all of them will get a job, how hard it is to compete with AI for anything. When should I incorporate AI? How should I change my work using AI? How will AI affect my work? And so on and so forth. So having a clear framework, having something simple to rely on, a rule of thumb, can really, really help you out in anything that you do. So think about these three things. Is it procedural? Is it analytical and is it social? And let that be the guide for knowing how AI can help you or not in your work. All right. If this is helpful for you, please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.